welcome back. Today we're on location at Tim's Worms in Butler, PA. You may have seen their product in our greenhouse before, the worm castings. So we're going to take a tour around his worm factory. So tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you got into this business.
Okay, I'm Tim and this is Kathy, my wife. I started raising worms. I got 250 and was going to raise them for fishing because we have Moraine Lake and State Park on the lake there. We have different rivers around here. So I thought, well, worms would be good to make a little money. So we started that, and then Kathy saw a worm conference in Georgia. And so it was a 3-day conference. So, well, we're into worms. Let's go down to Georgia and find out. Here we got down there, and there was a big worm conference. There were people from all over the United States and Canada. And when we were down there, they told us all about how to raise worms and what to do and the castings. And then one guy said either get into selling worms as composting worms or fishing worms, and they sell them to landfills to help eat the garbage and turn that into good stuff. And so we decided to go with the castings because there's a guy around here that already has the worm bait system around here pretty well sewed up. So that's how we got into it. We've been into the business about 5 years now. The first 3 years that we're starting, and now we're more into the producing and selling.
Okay.
So that's how we got into it.
Nice. So what are worm castings?
Well, worm castings are actually poop. You have cow manure, you have horse manure, we have worm manure. Okay, right. So when you talk casting, it's another word for poop.
Yeah.
So it's just worm poop.
So how do you mix the worm castings in your garden, and what crops are they good for?
Okay, it's good for all crops, house plants, vegetables, fruit trees, anything that you grow, it's good for that. The worms have been in the soil for years. God created them and put them in there to do that purpose. They break down compost, decaying matter, and then they turn it into good, nutritious soil that you have in the ground if you have lots of worms in the ground. But we do it commercially. We raise them in bins, and then we feed them leaves, sticks, and not sticks, but leaves and grass and hay and manure, you know. But sticks help because it adds the fungi and protozoa and different things in the soil, because the soil is complex matter, and there's all kind of ingredients in there that people don't know about because it's all microscopic.
Right.
So yeah, that's what.
So do you mix the castings into the soil, or do you place it on top?
Okay, you can do both. If you're starting your plants from seed, you can mix it in soil, 3 parts to 1. 3 parts of your medium or soil to 1 part casting, and that's for seed starting or top dressing. Now, if you buy plants, like he'll put a handful in the bottom of the hole and then put the plant, and then he covers it so it's at the bottom.
Okay. So with the worm castings, do you have to fertilize on top?
No, they're a natural, slow-release fertilizer. It has all the nutrition in there that you need. So yeah, you don't have to add any other fertilizers at all.
So how long would it take to produce a smaller bag of the worm castings?
Well, that's a tough question because it's like depending on how much they eat and how many times they poop. But usually small, probably 3 or 4 weeks, depending on how many worms you have too.
Right.
We have 1,000 worms per square foot, and the average, say, to start with, is supposed to be 250 per square foot. So we can turn them out pretty fast if we need to. It's hard to say. Probably we can get, I don't know, 10 pounds in probably 2 weeks.
Wow, that's a lot of poop.
That's because we have a lot of worms.
Yeah, that's a lot of poop. So whatever you do add it into your soil, how often do you need to refresh your?
They say about every 6 months.
Okay.
Because your plants are using it up. It's not like it's just there. So as they eat that and grow and flourish, then they use up that nutrient. So you add more to it.
Okay.
So that was the average that they say.
Okay. Do you have a favorite worm fun fact?
Favorite fun fact? I am not. I'll think about that one. Do you have one?
Not right off. They have 6 hearts. 5 to 6 hearts.
Wow. That's cool.
And the longest worm is 23 feet.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not around here.
It sounds like a snake.
It's in South America. Yeah.
America.
We have some that are we got it in a backyard, and they look like snakes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably this long.
Wow.
I have a
So
fun fact. My favorite worm is the night crawler, which you
yeah.
cannot raise commercially or in captivity
Oh, okay.
because it grows. They're huge and they're fun. I love
Yeah.
them. That's my favorite worm. So, but these we can raise, and so we have fun with them.
Yeah. So how would you say worm castings are different from your traditional fertilizer that you can buy in store?
Well, this is all natural. It's
Right.
something like you say that God put in the soil, worms in the soil to do
Uh-huh.
that naturally. So um, it has all the nutrients. It has, I guess it says when the when the compost goes through the worm's body, okay, it takes about 2.5 hours by the time it enters its mouth till it comes out the other end. Um, it um, it makes the compost water soluble. I guess that's the main thing. So it's water soluble, so the plants can take it right up quicker. Where traditional fertilizer are hard, they got to break down. They have to, they got to dissolve. Where this in the soil, it breaks down quicker. So they say it's water soluble right for the plant as you put it on.
And it helps retain the water in your soil.
Oh, okay.
And so you can also put it on as a liquid. If you soak it in water and make a tea, they call it, and then you spray that on the leaves, it does it faster, twice as fast, because you're getting it through the leaves.
Okay. Would you say your worms are compensated fairly?
I think they're compensated pretty well. We keep it.
We feed them well.
Yeah.
We feed them well. That way we get lots of castings.
Yeah.
And we keep them in the air conditioned in the summertime. If it gets too hot for them. In the wintertime, we keep a heater in here. We keep it 55 degrees. So they got it comfortable. I don't know.
Luxury.
I haven't heard one complain yet.
Luxury. So, okay, great.
We try to take care of them because that's our livelihood,
Yeah.
They work for us and they make us castings, which make the money that we live on.
So thank you guys for answering all those questions. That was really cool. If you guys want to check out the worm castings in the retail, we'll have them this season. We're going to be having a garden expo the end of May, and Tim's Worms will be there if you have any questions for them. And now we're going to take a quick tour around their worm factory.
So these are the worm bins. These bins are all full of worms. They are for making castings. This is a flow-through bin. The castings, we feed them on top, and the castings come out the bottom.
You just rake it. It's got tubes on the bottom, and so you just rake it with a garden rake, and the castings fall down, and then we take them and sift them.
And here we have these bins here are for our fishing worms. We fatten worms for them. For the fishermen, they like nice big worms, and this is a fattening table that we sift and separate worms, count worms out. When we need to count bait cups for the fishing worms. So then they go to these bins here, these big tote bins. These are for making castings, specifically castings. They're just keep filling them up, and when they get full, then we separate them out and take the castings and separate the castings from the compost and from the rocks or sticks that are in there. So when we bag the castings, it's all pure castings and no rocks, sticks, or dirt. And then we go into this room over here. Oh, I hate to take my back. This is the castings room where we separate all our casting. This is a thumb roll that we use to separate all our castings. It has an 1/8-inch screen, 1/4-inch screen, so we get the pure castings out of the first batch, and then that's what we mix and bag up and sell at Gardner's greenhouse.